So I watched Paths of Glory last night.
You did?
Yeah, it was good. I'm a huge Kubrick fan. You
Yeah, I
know
know.
that.
Yeah, that's like your favorite director now.
Well, I've always thought he was amazing. I think just his structures, like no one can beat him. He's such a good writer director, and even cinematographer. Like he pretty much like picks every shot that he shoots. So I think like as a director as a whole, every aspect that he controls is always like top notch. It has this Kubrick feel to it.
Hmm.
And Passive Glory is the same. I feel like the structure is so well done. I love the cinematography, just like one of the first movies to use Steadicam in the trenches. I thought it was like really, really good. I don't think it's one of my favorite Kubrick movies. I have had people tell me that it's their favorite. It didn't blow me away with anything new. Things like Barry Lyndon, Eyes Wide Shut, The Shining are a little better than this.
Clockwork,
Clockwork, yeah. I mean, I
2001,
mean, everything. I love everything he
Doctor
does.
Strange,
Yeah.
Love. No, I when I first saw Paths of Glory in high school, I was kind of blown away by it.
hmm
Like it's a very anti-war
hmm
picture. I don't think I've really seen anything like that because I kind of grew up on like the Saving Private Ryan sort of like, oh yeah, war is like action, it's cool and stuff, and like I watched The Pacific and it's like, oh, this is cool. And then in Paths of Glory, it was really dope. And this whole you're like on the side of the are you on the side of the French, you're on the side of the French, they're on the side of
Yeah.
the French, but you never see a German soldier in it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
all contained within the French army. Kirk Douglas is the colonel, and he's the most American French guy I've ever seen.
yeah. Kirk Douglas is great. It's just like a fucked up movie because they're just like trying to do the right thing and they're like they know they're gonna die in this battle and it's like there's no choice. They're either gonna have to go out into the trenches and get shot up, or they're gonna have to if they don't go out, they're gonna be accused of treason and then executed.
Yeah, I love the scene at the beginning where, you see the way the plans are passed down
Mm,
from higher up generals down to
mm,
Kirk Douglas, and he's like, "How many do you expect to die?" And the general says, "Well, 10% are going to die from our own artillery. 25% are going to die getting to the enemy lines,
yeah,
and then we're going to have to hold that ant hill for an entire day."
yeah,
And Kirk Douglas is like, "You're telling me I'm going to lose like 65% of my people?" He's like, "It's the
yeah,
price we pay." And Kirk Douglas obviously is like, "There's no fucking way we can do this."
yeah.
But they're getting sent in a suicide mission. He still does it. He is a true patriot, whereas everyone else hides behind this guise of patriotism.
Yeah. That's kind of like when we saw with In the Loop yesterday
hmm
with James Gandolfini. Is like, yeah, like I'm gonna go with the war because like I'm a real soldier, even though I disagree with it. But like I just have to do it because I gotta follow orders, and I'm a real soldier, even though it's just totally unnecessary.
hmm
Like World War I is such an unnecessary war.
hmm
Just like nationalism. I think a thing in Paths of Glory that they touched on really well was like, no, we're just gonna follow orders because we gotta represent the country, even though it's totally unnecessary. They just sending bodies out there. They're barely getting any land. Like just like with All Quiet on the Western Front, they like barely even moved the
hmm
whole war from this one trench to just like devastation and death for no reason, all
hmm
because they want to represent their country.
I love the trial scene in Passive Glory where the three men that are chosen to be executed are on trial. Kirk Douglas is trying everything he can to vouch for them. Like the whole committee is like not even hearing him out. They're just like brushing him off, and they're brushing off these soldiers because they're just like, well, people have to die. I guess it's these three. We have to set an example. And he's trying his hardest to say that these three men are good men, that they should be spared and they have honor.
Hmm.
And when the soldiers go up, they're like, well, yeah, I made it to the enemy, or like, I made it to our front line, but then everyone was dead around me. Or, yeah, I tried to get out of the trenches, but my general was shot in front of me and fell
Yeah.
on me and knocked me out. It's like totally unfair that these three are being killed, but
Yeah, and like one of the guys, so like I remember in the execution scene, like one of the guys is totally like chilling. He's just
mhm,
like whatever, fucking. And there's the other guy who's like getting hysterical.
mhm,
He's like getting so fucking hysterical, and he's just like crying and shit. I'm like, dude, that sounds so fucking scary to me.
yeah.
Having to be like put up and shot, and they got to put the hood on him, and then doesn't one of the guys not put a hood on or something? He just wants to get shot, like.
Yeah, the guy that's chilling is just like, no, I'm not going to have a blindfold.
Yeah, I want a blindfold, and the guy like who's like being hysterical like has a blindfold and shit, and it's just like,
And then that third guy
yeah,
is like barely alive. He got like punched in the prison
Oh yeah,
because
yeah,
he was
yeah,
being
yeah,
hysterical too, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
he's just on a
yeah, yeah,
stretcher.
yeah. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like unconscious, yeah, dude. And they just like shoot all of them. It's like three different sort of like levels of kind of like what war does, and also like there's a scene comparing it to All Quiet on the Western Front, where it's like, dude, the war's over. Like, why are we gonna go back into the battlefield? Like, I don't want to fight, and then they just like come over and they fucking anyone who, even though the war's over, and they decide that they don't want to like any soldier that doesn't want to go back into the war gets like fucking executed.
Hmm.
This period in Stanley Kubrick's career, he's still doing the classic Hollywood style, because it's like 1957, then we get Spartacus 1960, and then we get Doctor Strangelove 1964, and then we go into like that's when he like made his transition to
Hmm.
the new Hollywood style. So that's what's so cool about his Kubrick's like career, was that he had done Fear and Desire, The Killing, and then the next year he did Paths of Glory, and that's like his more classical.
Hmm.
Even though Spartacus is like classic era, Kirk Douglas, yeah.
Hmm.
Kirk Douglas, R.I.P.
Yeah.
legend. He's great.
Yeah. I love his black and white stuff. It's shot so well.
Yeah.
That whole era. Like, did he make Lolita?
Oh yeah, Lolita. Yeah, yeah. Lolita's like 1961 with Peter Sellers. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was I never. I actually that's the only Kubrick film I haven't seen yet, and
Hmm.
we should really watch that.
Yeah, I'm down.
I've seen. I think I've seen all of them. Besides, I haven't seen Fear and Desire, but that's like
His like first one.
yeah. There's one before. No, no, no. There's Kiss of Something. Fear and Desire is his first one, right? And then there's like Kiss of Something. I forgot the name, but anyway, yeah. Paths of Glory. The first Steadicam shots were in the
It's the
trenches.
second. I think there was another movie right before it. It was really good. I'm gonna love Kubrick no matter what. All of his movies hit for me, and it was surprising just how he has this like stark take on like political dramas that it's just unmatched.
Yeah, he's got some shit to say, and he's very. I love the way he tells his stories too. He's just like trying to do something different. Like one of the goats for sure. Yeah, Paths of Glory is good. I like the narrative. I like the execution, and it's just like tight and clean too. Like it's just like so tight, like editing wise and stuff.
Hmm.
And the whole perspective of the French soldiers.
Yeah, it's interesting that we're from the French perspective. I don't know why. It's everything seems so American. All the actors are so American.
Yeah.